Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to ACS Sneakers. My name is Aiden. On today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Air Jordan 1 in the Silver Toe colourway. Now, before we get into that, as always, I just want to welcome back my returning viewers. Thank you as always for continuing to support me and this channel. And to any new viewers, welcome to the channel. We do release brand new sneaker content just like this each and every week. So do make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification as well so you never miss a video. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the intro. Now, before we do get into the review itself, as always, let's just take a quick look at the box itself. Now, for the first time in quite a few videos, we actually have an interesting looking shoebox to take a look at. Now, if you've never owned a pair of Jordan 1s before, you might not already know that this is actually an inverted box. Now, the shoe that we're going to take a look at today is actually a women's exclusive release. And with the normal Jordan 1 releases, we do normally get a primarily black cardboard box with a red Nike text across the front. This has actually been inverted as it is the women's exclusive release, so we have a primarily red box with the black Nike text instead. I personally do like it, it just helps differentiate between the male and women exclusive releases. If we take a quick look at the label now, which reads, Women's Air Jordan 1 High OG in the black metallic silver colourway. Now this is a personal pair as it is in a UK size 9. Now the size conversion does mean that this is actually a women's 11.5 in the US. So if we just go ahead and get straight into my review. So if we just now get straight into the shoe, starting from the toes up. Now the toe box itself has been constructed of this crinkled silver leather material. The shoe itself is actually inspired by space travel and the future of flight. I'm not exactly sure if that's a direct nod to the actual spacesuit, the rocket, or just something in between. But also it does say on sneakers that this shoe is actually a slight twist on the Jordan 1 gold toes. Now, on the Jordan 1 gold toes, they actually use patent leather material, and on this shoe, they've just swapped that out with this crinkled silver. To be honest, it's not that bad. It kind of looks like tinfoil is the best way I would describe it. It definitely isn't the most premium leather that you're ever going to have on a Jordan model, but it's definitely not the worst either. Now, in my personal opinion, I can see this material creasing incredibly easy, and pretty much the minute you actually do throw these on feet for the first time. So in my personal opinion, I would highly recommend that you do use a crease defender by Sneak Defender. Now, I will leave a link to them in my description area below, but I've actually done a review on them as well, which I will link in the cards. In my personal experience, they are the best crease defenders available on the market, and they'll definitely help avoiding any actual creases to the toe box. Now, around the actual toe box itself, we do have this buttery smooth black leather material, which also wraps up through the eye stays as well. Now, one of my favourite features on this entire shoe is the hang tag. I'm a sucker for things like this, and I just think in this silver matte colour, it just looks really nice. And that was actually one of the biggest selling points when I actually saw the pre-release pictures, was the actual hang tag itself. Now, I won't wear it on the shoe because I'm just not that guy, but I do think it's just a nice one to actually have in my collection. I do have quite a lot of hang tags. I do keep them. I do store them. And I just think when it actually is on the shoe, if this was just to be, you know, a collector's piece, I think it looks really nice in my opinion. And now moving further back the shoe, on both the lateral and medial sides, we do have this really nice white leather, slightly tumbled panel on either side. And running through the centre, we do have this deep black leather Nike swoosh. Now, I think we can all agree that the leather on this shoe looks pretty decent. It looks, you know, as I mentioned, slightly tumbled, but overall the quality looks pretty good. And here we go again. So, like what we saw with the other shoe, in the quarter panel of the shoe itself, we do have a white leather panel with the black Nike swoosh running through the centre. Now, unlike what we saw with the other shoe, this shit is definitely not lightly tumbled. This looks like it's been left in the sun for days. It's horrific. How you can have the exact same shoe looking completely different is completely beyond me. I normally just accept these quality control issues as, you know, QC issues, but this is horrendous. Absolutely bog standard, absolute. Now, Jordan Brand is a multi-billion pound company. This is plain and simple. This is pristine. This is perfect. This is how all my shoes should come. This is how all my shoes come. It's really frustrating. It's really one of those things that, you know, we're seeing on too much of a regular basis, in my opinion. We pay a lot of money for these releases, and when they come looking like this, it's definitely underwhelming. If this was the only shoe you were going to get for an entire year, just imagine how you would feel. And every time I do get a shoe that's in a bad condition, I think to myself how fortunate I am that I am in a position where I can get multiple shoes throughout the year. But the fact remains that we pay so much money you expect quality like this and not like this, but quite often we get more releases like this than like this. And breathe. And now moving further back the shoe, around the ankle collar, we see more of that crinkled silver alongside the black Wings logo. Now, I actually do think the Wings logo does work really well with this material, and I just think altogether, this is probably one of the highlights of the actual shoe itself. And now swinging over to the heel of the shoe, once again we see more of that crinkled silver material wrapping right the way around. Moving down to the midsole now, as you can see we do have a primarily white midsole. Switching to the outsole, we do have this primarily black rubber outsole. And now moving back up the shoe itself, as you can see, unfortunately I haven't laced up this shoe because I honestly haven't decided if I'm even going to be keeping it. Now the factory setting for the lacing is black flat laces, but if you do want to mix it up a little bit, you do actually get an additional set of laces on the left shoe. To be honest, it's not really the move for me. I don't really want to be wearing, glittery silver laces alongside all the silver that's already on the shoe. But if that's something you like, more power to you. But it's just not something that I personally would do. Now, when the shoe is actually laced up, the laces will sit atop this black nylon tongue, and in the centre of the tongue, we do have the Nike Air branding. And now moving up the shoe itself, around the ankle collar, we do have this black leather material, and then moving inside the shoe, we do have this black sock liner. I'll be completely honest, the actual material stumped me. I'm not exactly sure what it actually is, but it does feel very similar to the material that they did use on the sock liner on the Satin Snakes, which was also a women's release. Now, looking at the actual material itself and feeling it underhand, it definitely feels a lot more padded than the men's releases. I can say with absolute certainty that this is a lot more cushioned than my Jordan 1 Moccas and even my Jordan 1 Vaults as well. To be honest, I really like how it feels underhand. It has a very smooth texture, it feels really silky, and it also feels really well padded. So that in itself is a massive plus. So I just want to quickly touch on sizing. It's a little bit confusing with this being a women's exclusive release, but if you are from the UK, I just want to let you guys know that a UK size 9 men's is the same as a UK size 9 women's. So that makes it just a little bit easier to actually understand the sizing for this particular shoe. Now, even though this is a normal size 9 that I would get with any other Jordan 1 release, I personally do feel that they do fit a little bit more narrow than the other Jordan 1s that I've got. So depending on how you like to wear your pair, whether you like it to feel true to size or if you want a little bit more room, will pretty much determine what I would recommend you do in terms of sizing. So if you do want that true to size fit, going with your true to size won't be an issue. If you want a little bit more room, go a half size up. But like always, if there's any chance at all for you to try a pair before buying, I would highly recommend you do so, just so you can understand the best fit for you. And now taking a look at the insole of the shoe, we have this primarily black insole with the white Nike Air branding. Now that pretty much wraps up the overview of the shoe itself, so if we just now go ahead and get into my opinions on the shoe. So just to summarise in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, I do give the Air Jordan 1 in the Silver Tours colourway a very respectable 7 out of 10. Personally, it's not the best shoe I've ever had, and it's definitely, it's a little bit underwhelming considering how excited I was for this particular release. I definitely feel like the materials let the shoe down, and I feel like if you are going for the shoe solely based on the colourway, you'll be absolutely fine. If you are going for the shoe based on the materials, I do think you will be disappointed. I've seen quite a lot of factory flaws on this particular release, and for anyone that does actually get this pair, I really hope that yours is a lot better than mine. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions are as well, so do make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. Now, if you stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, make sure that bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video just like this, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.